हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कैसे हैं बच्चों? अच्छा, आज जो है वो हम अपना पेपर कंटिन्यू करेंगे एएस का। कल हमने जो है उसको आधा कर लिया था, आज हम उसको कंप्लीट करने जा रहे हैं। तो देखते हैं कहाँ पहुंचे थे हम। क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 तक हमने कर लिया था। ये हमारा पेपर है, पेपर 22। और ये जो है नीचे चलते हैं, इसको देखते हैं कि क्या चल रहा है इसमें। अच्छा जनाब, ये जो है पेपर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 हमने कल कंप्लीट कर लिया था। Now we have to start with question number 3. Today we have to start with question number 3. Okay. And what we have to do, we have to just make it, just to activate tools. Now, Jason prepared the following statements of financial position which contain errors. Okay, non-current assets. Okay, current assets. Other payables, bank overdraft is a current asset. Okay. Capital is correct. Bank loans. Current liabilities include provision for doubtful debts, other receivables, trade payables. Okay. In addition to some items being recorded in the correct section of the statement of financial position, the following errors have also been discovered. Okay, काफी ज़्यादा मतलब कि बहुत मेरे ख्याल में काफी इसके पास क्वालिफिकेशन थी, इसलिए इसने काफी सारी चीजें कर दी। इतना क्वालिफाइड नहीं होना चाहिए आदमी। Okay, now what they want actually. Closing inventory has been overvalued by 510. Now, this error is going to affect the profit. Okay. The balance of rent receivable account debit to rent has been included in other payables in statement financial position. This is not going to affect the profit. Okay. Depreciation had been charged using the straight line method instead of the reducing balance method 20%. This is going to affect the profit. Okay. The balance of drawing account has been adjusted by 580. This is not going to affect the profit. So we have to be very clear. These two errors, which are given dots, which we have dotted, they are affecting profits, and these two errors are only affecting balance sheet. Okay, getting my point clear? Okay, now move to the next part. Calculate the revised profit for the year ended 31st December 2020. Okay, for your convenience, what I have done, I'm taking question from here. Now see, if you see the question, you will find that the profit for the year, drafted profit for the year is 11,270. Drafted profit is 11,270 dollars. 11,000. Now there are two errors which we need to rectify. Okay, only two errors. I'm going back to the previous page and I'm showing you closing inventory had been undervalued. If the value of closing inventory is undervalued, value is lowered, overvalued, and we have to decrease the value. It's overvalued and we have to decrease the value of closing inventory. If we decrease the value of closing inventory, it means the cost of sales is increasing. Increase in cost of sales means your gross profit is decreasing. Decrease in your gross profit means your net profit is also decreasing. So this correcting this error would decrease your profit, definitely. Okay. So what we do, less overvalue. Okay. The amount is 510. Okay. 510. So what we do, we'll write it in bracket 510. Now we don't know what we have to do with the depreciation right now. So what we do, we will make the calculation for depreciation. Now, first of all, depreciation calculated using straight line method. I'm using SLM, straight line method. So that was how much that was? That was 20% of the cost. So 65,000 multiplied by 20%. So it means 13,000. 65,000 multiplied by 65,000 multiplied by 20%. 13,000. So they have calculated depreciation dollar 13,000. Done. Achha. Now we have what we have to do. We have to calculate provision for depreciation at the start of the year. So that was provision at the end of the year is given 30,000, 31,000, and if we deduct 13,000, which was included using straight line method, if we deduct it, we will get the answer. We'll get how much? 31,000 minus 13,000. So that is going to be $18,000. Done. Now calculate depreciation. Calculation. Diminishing balance method, DBM. Okay. Now 65,000 was the cost. Okay. Minus 18,000 is the provision. Answer 65 minus 18. The answer is 47,000. Okay. Multiply by 20%. Is equal to how much? 47,000 multiplied by 20%. 9,400 should be the depreciation. 9,400. If correctly DBM was used, the depreciation would have been 9,400. But right now they have calculated depreciation 13,000. So depreciation is going to decrease. So decrease in depreciation is 13,000 minus 9,400 is equal to 3,600. So your profit is going to increase because you are decreasing. Actually, you are decreasing depreciation. So what you have to do, you have to add over here. Why we are adding it here? Because decreasing depreciation would increase your profit by 3,600. 9. So correct amount of profit would be 11,270 minus 510 plus 3,600. The answer will be 14,360. 14,360 is your correct Getting my point clear? Okay. We have to make a corrected financial position. The balance sheet was wrong. So what we do here, first we put the heading. Now non-current assets, the cost is 65,000. Okay. Less provision for depreciation. The provision for depreciation now, that was supposed to be decreased by 3,600. Previously, depreciation was 31,000 minus 3,600. 31,000 minus 3,600. The answer is 27,400. Write it in the bracket, so you should not forget that it's a negative word. 27,400 is going to be deducted. You put a line over here. Done. And we'll take the amount of non-current asset over here. So that would be 65,000 minus 27,400. So the net value is 37,600. 37,600 is your non-current asset total. Now we'll give the heading here, current asset. Now current assets, inventory. The value of inventory that was previously given was 17,390 minus 510. So you will get the value of inventory 17,390 minus 510 and get 16,880. 16,880 is your inventory. Done. Second current asset, trade receivables. What you need, the amount of trade receivable given is 14,800, and you have to deduct provision over here. The provision is given in the liabilities 480. So how much provision is going to be reported? 14,800 minus 480. So that is 14,320. 14,320 is your trade receivables, the correct amount of trade receivables. Okay, then you have other receivables. Other receivables, the amount of other receivable is 490 plus the error. There was an error of 220 not recorded in paper, that was incorrectly recorded in papers. That was the error number 2. So we have to add 220 over here. So 490 plus 220 is equal to 710. So other receivables would be 710. Okay. So these are 3 current assets you have. Now we need to get total of the current assets over here. Now, total current assets, there are 3 items. We have to add 16,880 plus 14,320 plus 710. That is 31,910. 31,910 is the correct amount. So if we add both the assets, what we get, the total assets over here. 31,910 910. Now total assets. $37,600 plus 31,900, and you will get the 37,600. Total assets 69,510. This is your correct total assets. Now come to liabilities. Liabilities, long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities, we have, I think, bank loan, 4,900. 4,900. Okay. Now, current liabilities. Now, current liabilities we have, first of all, is bank overdraft, 490. Bank overdraft, that was incorrectly recorded in current assets. Overdraft, 480. 490, sir. 490. Other payables. So the other payable amount was 700, and there was included 220. That was added in the other receivables. It's going to be deducted from the liabilities minus 220. So the answer will be 700 minus 220. The answer will be 480. This is 480. Bank overdraft, other payables, trade payables. There is no change in trade payables. Trade payables was correctly recorded. That is 11,360. 11,360. So what we need over here, total liabilities. Total liabilities would be 4,900 plus 490 plus 480 plus 11,360. Answer would be 17,230. 17,000. I'm going to write it in bracket. 17,230. Okay. So amount of net assets will be how much? 69,510 minus 17,230, that is 52,280. 52,280. This is the value of total net assets. Okay. Now, they are financed by capital. The amount of capital is given, and there is, I think, there is no much more problems in the amount of capital. 6,950. 6,950 is the amount of capital. Yes, profit is going to be changed. Profit is how much we have calculated in our previous question. That was 14,360. That is 14,360. Less drawings. Now drawings. The drawings amount have some problems. The drawing amount given was 18,450. 18,450 minus 580 we have to. add over here, overstated, understated by 580. So we have to add 18,450 plus 580. Next time 19,030. Sorry, 19,030 in the bracket because we have to deduct. Now put a line over here and answer over here is going to be equal to finance by, and that amount should be, let's check, 56,950, 56,950 plus 14,360 minus 19,030. Yes, 18,280. It's balanced now. We are done. Net assets are equal to capital. Balance sheet is done. Okay. I might have used one more extra line somewhere. Okay. That was supposed to be completed in the evening. Okay. This is done. Now move to the name 3 types of errors. There are 7 errors which are not affecting trial balance. Error of omission, error of commission, error of principal, compensating error, error of complete reversal, error of original entry, error of transposition, whatever you want to write. There are 7 errors. You are lucky. Now, question number 4, the last question of day, last question of the paper. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will solve A2, May June, paper 32. Inshallah. T Limited manufactures goods at 2 factories, factory A and factory B. Okay, factory A has 2 production department, assembly and finishing, 2 service department, administration, canteen, absorption, costing, user factory. Okay, budget overhead apportion. Okay, the basis for reapportioning service department overhead is as follows: canteen cost is going to be divided in 3 departments: 50% to assembly, 40% finishing, 10% administration, and then administration cost is going to be divided among the assembly and finishing in 75-25. It's very easy system. Now what we have to do, we have to apportion canteen over here. So 15,400 is the total cost of canteen. Okay. Now we have to take 50% canteen to the assembly department. 15,400 multiplied by 50%, that is 7,700. 7,700 over here. Now how much is for finishing department? 40%. So 15,400 multiplied by 40%. 6,610, sorry, 6,160, and obviously 1,540. 1,000. Done. 1,540. This is going to be added. Okay. So total cost of canteen is gone. 15,400 is gone. Okay. Now 0. Get the subtotals. Over here 83,500 plus 7,700. The answer is 91,200. 91,200, and total over here 70,100 plus 6,160. Answer is 76,260. Done. And what about total over here? 28,300 plus 1,540. The answer is 29,840. 29,840. Now the portion of administration cost. Administration cost 29,840 now. It's going to be divided. In the 2 departments. What is the ratio? 75-25. Okay. Now 29,840 multiply by 70%. 75%. Multiply by 75%. The answer 22,380. 22,380. That 29,840 multiply by 25%. 7,460 is going to be divided. So this 29,840 is gone. 29,840 is gone. Now total overheads. 91,200 plus 91,200 plus 22,380, 1,13,580. 1,13,580. What about this? 76,260 plus 7,460. The answer would be 83,720. 83,720. And this is now gone. Okay. This is done. Very easy. 113,580 and 83,720. Done. 4 marks we have got. Okay. Now, calculate the overhead absorption rate for each production department to 2 decimal places. Now, I think for assembly department, we should use machine hours because they are much more than direct labor hours. And in finishing department, we use direct labor hours for overhead absorption rate. Okay. Now, see. So what we have to do, we will take the total cost which we have calculated over here, 113,580 divided by machine hours. 113,580 divided by machine hours, sorry. Divided by machine hours, because assembly department we are the machine hours are much more than direct labor hours. So over here, this is 1,13,580. 1,13,580 divided by 2,800, and we'll get the labor rate, assembly department overhead absorption rate. Then would be we have to round up to the decimal place. So 113,580 divided by 2,800, and the answer is 40.56. $40.56. So what about finishing department? The total cost of finishing department is 83,720 we calculated. Okay, divided by 1,400 labor hours. And the answer would be dollar. How much? 83,720 divided by 1,400. Answer is 59.80. 59.80. Done. 4 marks we have got. Now move to the next part. Now the company received an order from a customer. Following details are available. So direct materials 1880, direct labor, assembly department 11.5 hours, finishing department 6.1 hour, machine hours. Okay. The company policy is to achieve a profit of 40% on selling price. Okay. Now a profit 40% on selling price. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to calculate the statement shows the total selling price Steel Limited will quote. Okay. Now see, materials are very much giving here $1,880. Done. Nothing to do with that. Dollar 1,880. Done. Okay. उसके बाद next direct labor. Direct labor is now direct labor assembly department. Now see how much is direct labor. Direct labor hours is 11.5 hours. 11.5 multiplied by the rate is given how much? 8.4. $8.4. So the cost of direct labor from assembly department would be 11 multiplied by is calculated 11 multiplied by 8.4, so $92.4. $96.6. $96.6. What about finishing department? Finishing department. We have 6.1 hours. 6.1 hours multiplied by the rate is 8.2. 8.2. So that would be finishing department. 6.1 multiplied by 8.2. 6.1 50.0. So what we do here? 3 point. Okay. Okay. Now come to overheads. Overheads. Assembly department. Assembly department. How many are machine hours? 5.7 hours of machine. 5.7 hours of machine multiplied by the rate we calculated was 40.56. I think. Yes, it was 40.56. 40.56. The answer would be 5.7. 231.19. Done. Now, finishing department. How much is 2.4 hours? Okay. 2.4 hours of direct labor multiplied by the rate which we have calculated for machine hours was how much? 59.80. So this is 59.80. 59.80. So total would be 6.1. 364.78. 364.7. So this is the total price, total cost. Whenever we are giving the order, we are receiving the order and we are giving quotation, we have to include material, labor, and absorbed factory overhead cost. So the total would be, total cost will be cost. So we have to add over here. So 1,080 plus 96.6 plus 50.02 plus 231.19 plus 364.78 is 2,622.5. 2,622.59. This is the total cost. Okay, this is the total cost. And now how to calculate profit? Now see, profit is calculated at is as 40% of selling price. Now, 40% of selling price profit means that this cost which we have calculated is 60% of your total sales. So if 60% of total sales is your cost, how much is the total sales? So 2622.59 is 60%. So 100% would be multiplied by 100 divided by 60. The answer is $4,370.98. Now take the 40% of its selling price, 1,748.3 is your profit. And now selling price would be recorded over here. How much it was? Now you can add 2622.59 plus 1,748.39. 4,370.98. Okay, done. This is it. This is the end. Okay. Now move to the next question. Next part. Under absorption overheads. Under absorption overheads are caused because when overheads spending is more than budget, when what you have quoted, when you spend more than what you have quoted or budgeted. Okay. The second thing is it might be possible that your actual overhead is less than your budgeted overhead. Okay. Achha. State what is meant by allocation of overhead and apportionment of overhead. Allocation of overhead, when we are giving the amount of overhead to total overhead to a particular department. This is called allocation. The overhead cost is given to a cost center. Okay. And apportionment means when we divide overhead costs into different departments. This is called apportionment. Easy? Okay. So this is, I think, end of the paper. 90. No. No. This is page 18. No, I thought this is the end of paper. No, E. No, page number 18. Additional information. Factory B. Tea Limited manufactures single product in Factory B. Marginal costing is used as this factory. The following information is available for December 2020 when production was 9,000 units, with included 1,000 units produced using overtime. Okay. Now see, direct labor overtime is paid 1.25 times the normal rate. All the production was sold for $30 per unit. The director have been considering a supplier of materials. The following information is available. An overseas supplier is prepared to become the company's sole supplier of material at $5.5. Now here, if we are using direct materials cost 72,000 for 9,000 units, it means $8 is the material rate per unit. He's ready to supply at $5.5, very big difference. Okay. But the supplier can make only use for 7,600 units. We are able to produce 9,000 units, but if we hire the overseas supplier, we will be able to produce only 7,600 units. He is not ready to supply materials for more than 7,600 units. We cannot produce 9,000 now. But I do not expect any other cost of unit selling price to change. All production will be sold. Okay. What we have to do here? If maximum profit that can be made if materials were obtained from the overseas suppliers and production limit is 7,600 units. Now see, if we are using the same, suppose we are making, we are producing 9,000 units. What we need to understand is 9,000 units, if we are selling at $30, the total cost, the total revenue is 270,000 minus total cost 233,500. That is 36,500. If we are producing less units according to this 7,600, this one, if we are considering this, if we are considering this, it means 7,600 is can the company maximize the profit? Because there is a lot of difference between the price of materials here and here. 5.5 and it is $8. This one is $8. 70,000 divided by 9,000, $8 per unit material cost. So if we switch to the new supplier with only 7,600 units, are we getting profit or not? So what we have to do now, we have to make the calculations again. Now, see revenues. Revenues would be 7,600 units multiplied by $30 per unit. So the revenue would be dollar. How much? 7,600 multiplied by 30. 228,000 is your revenue. 228,000 is your revenue. Okay. Now, cost. Materials. Nothing to worry about. 7,600 multiplied by 5.5. That is the cost he is offering us. Okay, $5.5. Okay, $5.5. So the answer of cost would be how much? 7,600 multiplied by 5.5. The answer is 41,800. Cost of materials. Done. Okay. The second thing in the question is direct labor. So direct labor cost would be same. Right now, direct labor cost, we have to go back to see what is the amount of direct labor cost. No. Now, what we have to do for direct labor, we have to go back to the question. See, direct labor is 74,000. Direct labor cost is 74,000 for 9,000 units. No. Because we have paid overtime also. So 0.25 is above. So suppose if 0.25 for 1,000 units. So 1,000 units multiplied by 0.25. It means we have paid overtime extra for 250 units. It means suppose that work is done in normal timings, we would have produced 9,250 units. So if we divide 74,000 by 9,250, 74,000 divided by 9,250, the direct labor we have paid at the rate of $8 because we have paid 250 additional units. We have paid for 250 additional units which were not made actually because we were paying overtime. So it means this is the labor cost originally for 9,250 labor hours, 9,250 units. Okay, we have not paid for 9,000 only, but 0.25 extra for the overtime. So it means we have paid for 9,250 units actually. So the labor rate is $8. So 7,600 units multiplied by $8. 7,600 multiplied by 8, 60,800. This is 60,800. The third cost is other variables cost. Other variable cost. 7,600 multiplied by. If you can see the question again, you will find that other variable cost was 22,500 for 9,000 units. It means 2.5. 7,600 multiplied by 2.5. So what would be the answer? 7,600 multiplied by 2.5. The answer is $19,000. $19,000. So material, labor, and variable cost. Okay, that would remain same. Fixed cost. would remain same. There would be no change in fixed cost. Fixed cost is 65,000. I think it's given in the question. It's 65,000, no change. So the total cost, if we add all these costs, the total cost would be over here and see. Total cost would be 41,800 plus 60,800 plus 19,000 plus 65,000. The answer is 1,86,000. 600 is your total cost. So if you deduct, the profit would be, and we, for your sake, I'm going to keep it in bracket. So you remember that this is a negative term. The answer would be definitely minus 41,000. Getting my point here? So we have earned 4 numbers. Now move to the G part, I think, and hopefully this is the last part. Okay. Advise whether a director or whether the directors whether or not they should change, specify others when both financial and non-financial factor. We know what is the financial factor involved. It's cost saving. Financial factor is cost saving. 7,000 producing 7,600, which is cost saving. Your labor cost is saved. Your material cost is saved. Your variable cost is almost saved. Your fixed cost is saved. So this it's basically cost saving. You are changing supply. But on the other hand, you will produce less. You won't be able to meet the demand of other customers. So you will lose customers. Second thing, you will lose your labor, redundancy, okay, unemployment. And I think it's not good if you are producing less, means you have to, you might need to terminate or redundant your few employees, few labor, because you are not producing 9,000 units. So in that case, it's a redundancy. Third point is the supplier reliable. The new overseas suppliers is reliable sometimes, suppose because it's you can in the COVID-19 situation. Making people redundant and depending on overseas supplies changes because anytime they can, there is a lockdown or something could happen due to COVID-19. And in both situations, the overseas suppliers would not be able to supply you, and likewise, your labor would lose a job during this COVID-19 situation. So you can keep in mind all these financial factor at your own. Okay, so this is the end. This is all for today. So inshallah, see you tomorrow. Inshallah, with a new video. I'm going to solve paper 32 of A2. Inshallah, tomorrow for the year June 2021. Inshallah, you are always welcome for suggestions, for any improvements, for anything. Please subscribe my channel. Thanks for being very supportive. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.